A typical day would be they come in, they get ready in terms of signing up for lunch, hanging up their belongings. They're responsible for getting notes to us from home. They have to place their folder in a special spot. They go right to their seats and they begin seat work.
It's usually something that follows up from the day before. It's pretty independent. It just kind of gets them started on their day while the other kids are trickling in and doing their job.
They get done with their morning work, they go over for calendar. Calendar has a lot of math skills such as patterning, weather. We do a lot of it on our interactive whiteboards. They're expected to know the days of the week, the months of the year. That's counting all the way by the end of kindergarten to 100 and understanding the meaning behind counting.
And then we go into our ELA block, our English Language Arts. We do a lot of manipulation of sounds, identifying sounds, identifying letters. We play a lot of games. Everything is turned into a game, especially rhyming. That's a fun one. We read books and we talk about them. And usually we do a read through and just kind of get them listening, and then we'll read it a second time and ask specific questions.
At this time of year, which is in June, they need to know about nouns and verbs. They need to know characters, plot, setting of a story. So we discuss the book that we've read.
Then we go to specials. We have art, music, library, PE.
We have a snack.
We have snack.
We break into our working stations. Some people call them centers, where the class is divided into little groups and they're each working on a skill.
I use that time to have children do independent work, and I'm working with kids in a small group setting, again on individualized goals.
One group might be writing the creatures you'd find in a pond. Another group might be doing an illustration for that. A third group might be something that they'd be doing, counting certain frog manipulatives and graphing the answer. We have reading groups during that period also.
Then we go to RTI, which is Response to Intervention. It's a school-wide initiative where every child, no matter who they are, if they're ready for enrichment or if they're working at grade level or below grade level, that they focus on a particular skill for like 6 weeks. And then we make sure that that's a mastered skill and we move on to the next logical skill. So a child might be working on rhyming at the beginning of the year. Another child who started to read might be working on sight words. So it's a more individualized approach to meeting every child's needs.
Then we break for lunch, deep breath at that point. We come back, we have handwriting, we have our math program at that point.
Everything is hands-on. They need to be able to manipulate it, to move it. It's a lot of questioning. We like to pose a question and then let them kind of play with it and figure it out. Struggle a little bit, if you will, but in a good way, so that they can see that there's more than one way to solve a problem. And then we kind of rein them back in and say, this is, show them that this is a way to do it, and then have them practice that way in groups or independently.
And then we move on to, we have a little bit of recess, and late in the afternoon we do science and social studies.
Try to do that mainly through nonfiction, just having them look at books, talk about books, reading books, all nonfiction based. We have a large set of nonfiction books for the students, one for each of them. So as they begin to learn to read, they have their own in front of them, they're following along. Different kids take turns reading and discussing and talking about whatever the topic is of the day.
So it's a pretty packed day.